Hello, my name is Sinead. I am a student. I am learning social rules as I'm not very good at them, but I'm going to be studying level 3 health and social care next year, hopefully. And I am autistic. I am 19 years old and I am studying every day, 24/7, looking for jobs and learning social rules and what's acceptable. It's actually really hard. So I'm studying in health and social care because I really, really want to succeed and I want to look after people before me or people that haven't been looked after very well. I basically want to help other people like me because I care and I enjoy it and I think that I'm good at it. I mean, every day there are difficulties. There are difficulties in me maybe misunderstanding something or getting the wrong social cues. But I'm pretty good at life now. I feel a lot better than I was because I'm not just easily getting over things. I really like doing diamond art. I don't have any in my bedroom, so I can't show you, unfortunately. And I also like Lego. So here is one of the Legos. I'm currently building a whole town and city, so I've got cars and I've got lots of stuff over there. So that's a hospital that needs building. Some of my train, and in that corner over there, excuse the mess, haven't tidied today. I've got my train track and a Lego shop and two of my favourite animals. Stuffed animals, not real, don't worry. I'm proud of getting 5 GCSEs and I'm proud of getting my level 2 qualification at a B because people have said that that isn't possible of me. I was diagnosed with autism at age 17 and my mum had sort of already known since I was around 2 that there was something different about me, but we didn't really know what it was, and doctors weren't interested in trying to find out. And schools weren't either. They basically just said I was lazy. We didn't really know how to get diagnosed, so most people would go to a doctor, but I already had some diagnoses. So I went to the doctor and they sort of said, we'll refer you to CAMS, but that never happened because I was older than 18. So we went through a specialist private person who understood the other diagnoses I had as well. The diagnosis has definitely helped because it means that I can ask for help with things that I wouldn't normally be able to ask for help. So something that I might struggle with isn't a struggle for other people. So I can ask for it to be more adapted for me. I think that the diagnosis has helped because it means that if I don't understand something, there's a reason behind it as well, which has annoyed me beforehand when I've been distracted by things in class or in my exams. There's a reason behind all of that, so the diagnosis definitely helped. I would explain autism to someone who had no idea what it is. It's like living in a different country. Everyone around you speaks this one language and you speak this other completely different language and you don't know where you are or what to do or how to speak this country's language, and you're just sort of stuck and it feels like no one understands you. that's what it sort of feels like to have autism. And then, if you're like me, add on sensory issues. So everything is louder than what you hear it as. I can hear things from miles away, literally miles. I can hear a car alarm from 3 roads past mine. That's very far distance. I live on a hill. It isn't easy being autistic, and no one with autism is the same. I think that's what I'd say. I would give advice to the younger autistic people, or people who are younger than me and think that they're autistic, or parents who think their children is autistic, that might feel isolated, that they're not alone. It feels like you're alone because you're either completely different to everyone. So what I've found is I've either completely different by being the least able, or I'm completely different by being the most able. So both ways there's a problem with it, because if I go in special schools, I'm the most able, but if I'm in a mainstream, I'm in the least able. And it sort of feels like those are what you're... So if you're in the least abled people, they always put less abilities on you, and they don't think that you're able to do as much. But you're not alone, and I didn't know about it when I was your age, and you're going to be able to get so much more help in the future. So even though what you're experiencing now isn't great, understand that it's going to get better. If I had the chance to send an entire message to the world, I would say I'm proud to be who I am, and that just because I'm different doesn't mean that you should treat me differently. Sometimes I might need more help, but I'm no different to you, I just think differently. I mean, wouldn't the world be dreadful if it was all the same? Differences are needed for us to succeed in life. Pablo is the world's best TV show, and this is coming from a 19-year-old adult. It shows all different types of autism. This is my giraffe, just like Pablo's. I often draw animals as well, so I feel really loved by when I'm watching Pablo, because I'm like, that's me. And it shows all sorts of signs or parts of autism, celebrating everyone and all the different types of minds. So Ren is flapping. That can be called self-stimulating behaviour, which I can do sometimes. So my favourite self-stimulating behaviour is this. On this toy, it was 50p in the works, but it's gone back up to £2, I think, I'm not sure. And echolalia. So echolalia is when you repeat what other people say. So Llama, who is voiced by Rosie King, who is also autistic. I think everyone who's voicing or making the episodes are all autistic, which is also a major difference, because most people who are playing autistic characters aren't the same. It's definitely going to have it's going to make a big difference on the children, on the younger audience, because it's showing a child who might not have a diagnosis that they're not different. It's just they're a little... So it's showing them that there's someone else like them. So like when I was little, there was nothing like this, and there was nothing like this, and I sort of felt a bit left out and alone, because everything was about other things and there was nothing about being different. And having Pablo there shows like people that you're not different, and there are people like you may not just know it. I wish that Pablo was happening when I was a little kid, because I used to watch TV, not too much, but quite a lot. trying to make my parent not sound bad. And I would have loved seeing someone being like me and not being the only one. And at school it wasn't like that. I was just told I was lazy, and doctors didn't really bother. So if Pablo was there, I could have watched Pablo and I could have been like, that's me, or I might have been able to see myself in it, because I see myself in it now. The writers I was right. The writers and the actors on Pablo are all autistic, which definitely makes a difference because, one, they're all really talented, and two, they live this every day of their life. So every day of their life they are autistic. They're not just recording it, pretending to be autistic. They actually are autistic, which makes a really big difference, because you can act autistic but you don't know what it's like. These people live it every day just like we do. They struggle too. And I think it shows a better representation of autism in the media, because a lot of times you might see something, but that person is making a bad stereotype for the media, like Rain Man. We're not all like Rain Man. I'm really happy that Pablo is on, because I think it's really important, because it's showing autism and it's presented by people who are autistic, which I think it makes more importance than normal. I think you should all join Pablo's movement in inspiring engagement and friendships with all kinds of minds. Just because I'm different doesn't mean I don't want to be your friend.